Hello, everyone. Hey, grown women, good to see you. Glad that you are here. So, I am doing a quick scope because it's late, but I was watching a scope earlier from a very popular pastor who was talking about, hello, thank you for joining. He was talking about soul ties, I believe, and I actually left the scope before he got to it because I was disgusted about other things he was talking about. But one thing that he touched on was masturbation, and I did a scope a while ago. I know it's no longer in my queue about masturbation, self pleasure. And what disgusted me about it was that this minister said that women masturbate using toys because they are insatiable due to having too many partners and could not be satisfied by men. And so then he went on to talk about how masturbation is a sin and so on. But then, as he kept talking, and then someone left in the comments that they know of people who are married and having sex with their mates, but the women are not having orgasms. And then he says, well, they need to teach their, hey, Tiffany. They need to teach their husbands what to do and what buttons to press and so on and so forth. Here's my thing, and my husband said it perfectly. It's like he was a preaching contradiction. It's like, bruh, how are you going to, in one breath, say you're going to hell? Like, he literally said that you're going to hell for masturbating. Like, he literally said that. Or how are you going to go to hell with it for a toy? Hey, Tiffany. But yeah, he literally said, are you going to go to hell for a toy or a blow up doll or some like that? But then 2 minutes later, he said, well, you need to teach your husband how to please you and so on and so forth. So my frustration is that, thank you so much for the hearts. I appreciate it. My frustration is that on one hand, a lot of people in the church, they never really give any good direction or any clear direction on the pleasure aspects of sex and sexuality. All you hear is don't have sex, wait until you're married. When you're married, the marriage bed is undefiled, don't have sex, don't have sex. But then all of a sudden, once you jump the broom, and if you're not familiar with that term, jumping the broom is a colloquialism for getting married among the African American community. But once you cross that bridge, once you get married, then all of a sudden you're supposed to become this sex goddess and the marriage bed is undefiled. But if you grow up in church and if you're only given that message that sex is bad and you're going to go to hell if you touch yourself, how are you going to know what the heck to do once you get married with a partner? Thank you so much for the hearts. I really appreciate them. But yeah, I was just completely frustrated by that. I'm actually writing an article about it. I write for a publication, susienew.com, where I have a few different posts that I started writing for them in July. And so you can see some of my writing there. But yeah, I was just so frustrated and so taken aback by that. I stopped watching the scope. It was like, let me get out of here before I get a complete attitude. And that was earlier in the day. And I played it back for my husband to see the ridiculousness. But it just really frustrated me. But it also solidified why I need to be doing the work that I'm doing. Specifically sex therapy, coming from a Christian perspective. I think it's important that we understand what sex is, and we understand that it's pleasurable and it's okay to feel good. I think often the only messages that we get concerning sex within our communities are sex is bad, don't have sex, you're going to go to hell until you get married. And that's frustrating and it's wrong. And so, yeah, I was just coming on here to vent my frustrations about that because it hurts for me to see. All I saw were comments from people saying, Amen, Pastor, and that's it, and don't go to hell for a toy. But like I said, further down in this conversation, he said, well, you need to teach your husband how to please you. Well, if you don't know how to please you because you've been taught that touching yourself and pleasing yourself is a sin and you're going to go to hell for it, then y'all just going to have bad sex. Then you can hire me as your sex therapist if you're in the St. Louis area. But, but yeah, so I'm going to go and finish writing this. I just wanted to hop on real quick and vent my frustration about my particular faith community, how sometimes we just get stuff all wrong. We do not approach this thing correctly. And like, if you really want to understand God's design for marriage, check out Song of Solomon or Song of Songs, depending on what version of the Bible that you have. You will see, basically the Deandria Blaylock Johnson translation of Song of Songs. The whole thing is do it and do it well and do it often. That's basically what it says. It's a great depiction of love. But yeah, so I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you all for hanging out with me for a couple of minutes. I'm gonna finish. Hi, Shayla. Good to see you. But yeah, you're coming on as I'm leaving, but I thank you for the hearts. But I was just talking about how sometimes within faith communities we get this thing messed up as it relates to sex. Just a Periscope I was watching earlier, this pastor was talking about how masturbation is a sin, and but the marriage bed is undefiled. And so if you're having horrible sex with your partner, then you need to be able to teach your partner. Oh, thank you. I appreciate it. But yeah, you were saying you need to be able to teach your partner what to do. But my concern is, how are you going to know what feels good to you if you've been told your entire life that sex is bad, masturbation is bad? It just doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. So anyway, I'm happy that you guys joined me this evening, early morning. I hope you have a wonderful Tuesday coming up. Get some rest and be productive, all that good stuff. Or if you have a day of rest planned, don't be productive. That's awesome too. All right. Have a great night. Have some great sex, whether it's solo or partnered. All right. Not a saying he should have come. He sure should have. And I want to be there next year too. Absolutely. All right, y'all. Good night.